Good morning, I'm Eric Steele, redshirt junior, relief pitcher, and this morning we're going fishing. Well, I kind of start the night before. I just plug in my batteries and charge that. And then I'll rig up and stuff. Most of the time I don't have to do much rigging though, because I'm pretty much set up from the trip before, but I'll set my alarm clock for 4:30-ish, wake up Pat usually, and then jump in the shower. I'm usually out the door by 4:50. 5 o'clock-ish. This morning we're headed down to the area of Houma, Louisiana, north side of Lake Boudreaux. There's a nice marsh up there that I like to fish when I'm on short time, because it's kind of a quick drive, and then as well as it's not a long boat ride and I don't have to run all the way down to the Gulf to fish. Growing up in Florida and always fishing, you hear about Louisiana and their red fishing, how magnificent it is. I do a lot of reading on reports and stuff, and I look up a lot of captains and areas they fish. I mean, being a reliever, I usually come in with runners on. So say the base is loaded with 1 or 2 outs, the adrenaline gets going pretty good there, and with a couple thousand fans in the stands, it gets going. And this is more of I've been waiting all week for this, get some stress off my back from classes, so it's more of a relaxed adrenaline, I would say. Last year I brought my Ginu up here, which I've had a Ginu since I was, 3 years old, 4 years old. I've always grown up on them. I had a couple of them, and then I could do all this on my Ginu, but I can just explore. I can go so much further now. I can bring more than one other person on the boat. I started fishing when I was, 1, could hardly walk, and I'd sit out there, and my dad would take me every day after preschool, because we live right by the Space Center. So he works at the Space Center, I went to the preschool at the Space Center. So he'd pick me up and he'd have the boat hooked up all the time, our Ginu at the time. We'd go anchor up on a flat, and he'd just give me a spoon, tie a spoon on my rod and say, throw it as far as you can, just reel. And I'd just start catching trout, and that's kind of what got me into it. And then, every now and then I'd catch a big redfish. You can see their little V, and you throw it right in front of the V, because that's where their head is, and he crushed it. He's a little guy, but he's feisty. Usually once you start seeing fish, you'll start seeing more and more, because you'll see the fish like to travel together to an extent. They get in schools, or they'll just kind of travel through marsh to marsh. So sometimes first thing in the morning is kind of it's like a numbers game. You got to search. Different types of fishing require different types of skills, obviously. Anyone can go out and just sit there with a shrimp in the water and get lucky and catch a fish. You got to be able to cast accurately to sight fish like we're doing today. You got to be able to see the fish. I mean, I can tell you there's a fish there, but if I see it doesn't mean someone else can see it. You got to be able to see, cast, execute, and then catch, maybe, if the fish eats. It definitely takes some skill. Definitely knowing what a hitter's trying to do in a situation comes in handy while pitching, as well as if I'm going along this shoreline and I see, say, the direction which a tail is facing, then that helps me out knowing which direction this fish might go and knowing what they want to do, get away from the shoreline or what. These fish today, it's real sunny, so they're just lit up, like this whole school coming right here. There's a bunch more right here. That's a nice one. He's got a bunch of spots on him too. He's got more than just 2 spots. So today we've been just in the real shallow waters of the marsh, looking for these redfish who are they're just kind of laid up and lit up. As you can see, they're real colorful fins right here.
And with it being real sunny, you can see them from a good distance away. And they're traveling, I'd say we saw a school of about 30 probably, but most of the fish we're seeing are in packs of anywhere from 2 to 6, 7 fish. Like these two right here, they were just in a pack of probably 7, 8 fish. Yeah, on his fish, I only got 1 spot on each side. On his, he's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total spots. And I don't really know much about that, but
That's how dumb they are.
yeah, his fish is dumber than mine, I guess. No, I heard maybe genetics, and some people say you catch more spotted fish in dirtier water, but I don't know. I mean, we just caught them in the same spot, so I don't know how that goes. But started off kind of slow, but once we made a couple moves, a couple adjustments, it definitely caught some fish. So I'm pretty happy with it. Not quite double digits, but we're pretty close. So we woke up at 4:15 this morning, got the boat all hooked up, drove hour 15 minutes down to the bayou, put the boat in, slick calm, nice foggy morning, went out, started looking for tails. It's kind of slow in the morning, but once we found them, once that sun came up, they were like glowing, and it was really good. Ended up catching a bunch of fish, and we had a good day. Thanks for following us around, and hope to see you at some of our games this year. Thank you.